back to the Edge of Kaijus, everyone. I'm your host, Swift Edge, and today we are stepping once more back into the creepy set tone of Godzilla, this time from Warping Fist with the horrifying world of Godzilla Black Mass. I do believe that this was recommended to me, and I went searching, and I don't know what to make of this, so we're all going to get a little insight into this. Hope you got your snacks, hope you got your drinks.
Hope you got your water, and if you don't, I'm gonna find you and make you drink your water.
But we're going to go ahead and watch.
How do you believe the world will end? Maybe a global scale conflict will bring up.
Ooh, captions.
How do you believe the world will end? Maybe a global scale conflict will bring upon nuclear destruction. Perhaps a cosmic object will crash into our surface, or maybe we'll succumb to natural selection, being replaced by organisms more adapted to the environment.
I mean, as a Christian reading the Bible, looking at how it's going to end is like, oh, that's a lot. Oh, that's a lot.
However, a way humanity could be wiped out is not something we often think about. A virus, a force in which through history, humanity can barely deal with, and is something that on many occasions makes us realize just how unprepared we are to deal with this world's life and biological weapons.
We were testing with collecting Godzilla's tissue samples from the area.
Was not ready for that.
In the area, we were told to make sure our suits were sealed properly.
They weren't sealed properly.
They were not sealed properly.
Oh, goody. Oh, what the crap? What is this?
This is the world of Godzilla Black Mass. Developed by the artist Steelneck, Godzilla Black Mass is a horror reinvention of the character that depicts the Godzilla universe in a way we've never seen before. It takes a lot of inspiration from Shin Godzilla.
Great
However,
iteration.
unlike Shin, Godzilla Black Mass uses body horror to a much larger degree.
That's a big degree. Like, look at that. The fact that the jaw is just splitting down the side. That also is kind of giving me Prototype vibes. Great series of games. That is just, that iteration of Godzilla would be the most terrifying, and I would 100% be like, bomb, bomb, bomb.
Creating a version of the character that's not only terrifying, but also one we can't help but sympathize with.
I mean, if it's
Our
one in
story
pain.
begins in 1978, and the threat of nuclear annihilation is very fresh in people's minds. Commonly, when it comes to nuclear destruction, we're always afraid of the initial blast, the explosion of fire that vaporizes everything. With such a catastrophic event, we often forget about the silent killer, the one that infects our cells and leads to a slow and agonizing death. If we were to survive a post-nuclear world, finding out how to cure this sickness is the top priority. Dr. Serizawa understood this fact, as for years he's been attempting to cure nuclear poisoning through developing a particular chemical. To test the chemical's effectiveness, he's been using it on a group of amphibians found near the rivers of Nagasaki. They survived the initial blast, and because of their nuclear poisoning, they are the perfect test subjects. Unfortunately, the salamanders don't survive, as the chemical fails to cure them of their condition.
So they don't have
so
any strength against... Wait, they do? Of course, that one being so very special. One had a strength and a great immune system against it.
The amphibian named Reed has become the first to survive, leading Serizawa to believe that his chemical has worked. He leaves Reed in a pool of water, ecstatic of the progress he's made. Perhaps Serizawa and Reed together will change the world.
I have a feeling that chemical did something to him! Yep. I think something very bad is about to happen. Oh, that's a great visual right there. Oh, I love loving this. And the music going along with it is just, oh! What happened to you, Reed?
Had not been cured, despite his chemical seeming to work. 10% of radiation remained in the creature. This 10% is called the black mass, a point of abnormally mutating radiation. It's unknown what caused this black mass to persist. Perhaps it's a genetic trait of the amphibians, and what we now know is that Sarazawa's chemicals are interacting with the black mass in a unique way, causing the black mass to mutate abnormally. It not only regenerates lost tissue at a rapid rate, but the rapid regeneration also causes living matter to grow in size, as if the reaction within the black mass destroys and builds up matter at a constant rate, just like how your muscles increase in size to repair damage from intense workouts. Reed's entire body is a medium to transfer the black mass, but not in a good way.
No, not with that visual that we saw. It's almost like it's gonna make him a little bit more aggressive. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he gonna be real aggressive and violent.
This is shown in several pieces of artwork where when a cow consumes Reed's blood, they dramatically grow in size as if they've become bloated. Reed's blood is highly contagious, and its consumption causes one's body to undergo similar physiological changes. The black mass fights the host cells, causing their bodies to be destroyed and built up again, leading to dramatic size growth. Now you might be thinking,
fin there.
Drink the blood then, you idiot. Also, your channel's awesome.
This is a reasonable conclusion if weren't for the fact that the black mass can spread through other mediums. In this art, Godzilla rests in a body of water as his dorsal plates begin to glow. This would be a beautiful sight. However, the shining of the dorsal plates signifies the release of Godzilla's spores.
I was gonna say,
spores
can it be breathed
is not
in?
a good word for it. It's more like the release of Godzilla's skin matter. Remember, every part of Godzilla's body is a medium to spread the black mass. We see
so it's shedding itself, and if you just do a simple breathing in, it's it's, oh gosh, that is not what you want to go to work with ever, because then you're most likely, because again it's contagious, going to spread it around, and it's just going to, oh, that's apocalyptic level event for sure.
Consequences of this in this artwork. Here we see how Godzilla's skin matter alone has decimated all life in this ecosystem,
not just gonna be
including the plant life and trees, which have become shriveled and lifeless. Of course, the most noticeable part of the artwork is the deer and elk in the distance, whose bodies have morphed into horrific forms. Their bodies have melted and
Dead Space
fused
levels of
with the surroundings.
masses
They've
of
become
flesh.
bloated, and their spines
I love it.
explode from their back, giving them a form of dorsal plates. This is a perfect example of how even the most mundane parts of Reed's body can ultimately decimate the life around it. However, the way Reed affects humans is much more terrifying. This artwork depicts a scientist or a government worker who's come into contact with Godzilla's tissue samples. Unfortunately, his suit was not sealed properly, and the exposure to Godzilla's matter, no matter how brief, was enough to transform him into a monstrosity. His arms have been snapped backwards, dorsal plates sprout from his back, and a twisted, Godzilla-like head has replaced his human face. It's important to know, though, that the host is likely already dead and is now being puppeted by this fleshy mass. This man had it worse than most, as usually when you come into contact with Godzilla's matter, parts of your body transform as your bones contort, your flesh grows in significant size, and dorsal plates grow from all over your body. However, the horrific mutations usually means that those who had transformed typically don't last very long. Not only can Reed's body mass mutate and destroy all life, but if left alone for too long, pieces of Godzilla's loose body can mutate, causing them to develop into independent living creatures
Oh,
who
heavily
seem
inspired
to be
by Shin for
immediately
that one.
aggressive and attack any form of life.
So they will just devour.
When I say the
devour
black
and
mass,
devour.
if left alone, can mutate on its own, I meant it. According to another piece of artwork, these creatures have the capacity to grow out of a human body, which seems to be the final phase
Kinda
of
like
the
xenomorphs.
infection. Likely because although the humans mutated, the fleshy mutations can still independently grow into these creatures. According to Steelneck, these creatures are so aggressive because they are in distress. They've essentially been born without skin, living in horrific agony.
It's just exposed
Since
muscle,
Godzilla's body
nerves, and
is
tendons and
rapidly
ligaments.
regenerating, it means there's not many ways to damage him. However, even his self-regeneration is a problem, as the regeneration itself is way too strong, causing parts of his body to overcompensate and regenerate past their original form. That's why Reed's tail is so large. Reed's regeneration went into overdrive, causing his spine to grow and burst out of his back. It's important to know that Reed isn't necessarily evil. He does not seek destruction, and in
He's just
fact,
in
he does
pain.
not care about anything. He's a simple animal,
He's just
just
in
like his
agony,
original
dude.
form, just trying to live out its life. However, does not mean he won't fight back if harmed. There's much history within the Black Mass universe, and as you can imagine, fans have come to wonder if Reed exists within a more expansive universe. Although the intention was to make Black Mass a solo Godzilla story, Steelneck has hinted towards other monsters within the universe.
That would actually be kind of cool to see the iterations of them within.
Rodan, according to lore details, was a petrel who came into contact with blue oyster chemicals, transforming the bird into a giant, decaying monster. Mechagodzilla is so much more terrifying in this universe. You see, within the universe
Really?
of Black Mass, it seems the US military saw Godzilla's mutating flesh as a perfect tool for warfare, deciding to keep a chunk of his flesh for whatever reason.
Why?
However, the army didn't quite understand how rapidly the flesh could mutate.
Oh, yeah, no, that's terrifying. That looks like a bit of a shark face at the top
Godzilla's
there. Like
flesh
that.
would essentially
That's still
cultivate
terrifying.
and become melded into several pieces of military equipment, artillery, tanks, vehicles, and jets. This amalgamation, Mechagodzilla, whose nerves have become one with the technology, creating a strange, fleshy cyborg.
And it's all exposed, so every step, every touch is just pain.
King Ghidorah has been reimagined as an eldritch and Lovecraftian creature.
Love that.
Ghidorah's head appears to be skeletal. It's not clear if it's their literal head or just a mask of some kind. But what
I
we
love
do
that,
know
though.
is that these sizable gaping sockets aren't Ghidorah's eyes. It's actually these tiny dots near its nose,
That's
giving
cool.
Ghidorah a horrific look. The creature also has an amalgamation of what appears to be
love eldritch
humanoids
horror.
at the bottom of its body, which are the victims of the many worlds it's conquered and left barren. Hey, if you enjoyed watching this, consider supporting Steelneck's comic series and take the time to follow his other works on Twitter and social media. There's so much content,
Oh,
artwork,
that's
and lore
cool.
details that I
Mothra!
have avoided covering just so you can check out their work for yourself.
Oh,
I promise
100%.
you won't regret it.
No, that is cool.
I am sorry.
I absolutely love that. This is such a beautiful world and such a beautiful story of just pain. Similar to Shin, because continuously growing, continuously forming, and it's just in agony, and so it's lashing out in agony agony because it's frustrated, it's angry, it's horrified with itself, but it's also protecting itself. That was beautiful. Well done from Steel Neck and Warping Fist. If you want to check out both Warping Fist and Steel Neck, link in the description below. I highly recommend that you go and do it. I forever love Godzilla, and I love Godzilla horror. It's so cool, it's so fun just to take such an icon that we know and give it certain twists to make it that much more terrifying. Because Godzilla as a whole, terrifying, power, destructive, beautiful, wondrous, amazing. But when you get down to it from the human perspective, fudging crazy. And I love it. If you enjoyed this as much as I did, though, make sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought about this. If there's any videos you'd like to see me react to in the future, give me some suggestions right down below. I take them all into consideration. And if you're new around here and you've been enjoying what you're seeing, why not click that subscribe button, click that bell to get notified of my next video. I'll see you on the next one, though. Bye-bye!